All right, everybody, welcome back to the show today. We are going to be doing a deep dive into local SEO for small businesses in America.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. This should be fun.
So we have quite a bit of research, actually, to go through today.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty fascinating topic. I think most people think of SEO and they think, I need to rank for, this term or that term nationally,
Right.
But what's really interesting here is how much SEO is impacted by just the local area where you're at.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for small businesses, especially when you're competing against some of these really big national brands,
Right.
it can be a game changer, honestly, to really kind of hone in on that local SEO and make sure that, when somebody's searching for something in your area, you're the one that pops up.
Yeah. Yeah, and, it seems almost like a David and Goliath kind of situation.
It is.
Where you have these massive companies that have, nationwide recognition. But if you could really target locally, you can compete with them.
Yeah, for sure.
On a smaller scale.
Yeah.
And
yeah, you can punch above your weight class, so to speak.
Exactly.
And I think that's one of the things that's so exciting about local SEO is it really does level the playing field.
Yeah, it's
for
fun.
Smaller businesses.
So before we get too far, I think it's important to kind of define what exactly we're talking about here.
Sure.
What is local SEO?
Yeah, so local SEO is really it's all about making sure that your business is visible in search results when people are looking for products or services near them.
Okay.
So, think about it this way. How many times have you searched for something like, best pizza near me? Or, coffee shops open now?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Yeah, right? And those are searches that are driven by local intent. And so local SEO is all about making sure that your business shows up in those results.
So it's really meeting those hyper-local needs, those like in the moment, I need this right now kind of searches.
Exactly.
That are happening all around us all the time,
Exactly. And, you mentioned the whole David and Goliath thing. And, one of the experts that we looked at, Sandy Rowley, she calls it a game changer for small businesses.
Wow.
She says local SEO is a game changer for small businesses. Unlike traditional advertising, it's affordable, it's measurable, and it's precisely targeted. So,
that's huge.
You're not wasting money on, trying to reach people who are never going to be your customers.
Right. Yeah, it's so much more cost effective, I would imagine, than trying to just reach everybody everywhere with like a national campaign or something like that.
Absolutely. It's all about maximizing your impact by targeting the people who are most likely to actually, walk through your door or visit your website.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Uh-huh.
So we've got this incredibly powerful tool, it sounds like, but why does it work so well? What makes local SEO so effective?
Yeah, so I think one of the biggest reasons is that it boosts your visibility right where it matters most, and that's in your local community.
Right.
Imagine someone searches for, bakeries in, your town, and your bakery's the first one that pops up. That's local SEO in action.
Yeah, and that visibility, especially in today's world where everybody's, scrolling through stuff so quickly and you only have a couple seconds to catch someone's eye, that's going to be incredibly valuable.
Yeah, it really is. And, think about this. Over half of all web traffic now comes from mobile devices.
Oh, wow.
So people are constantly on the go. They're searching for things right in their neighborhood. And if your business isn't optimized for mobile and showing up in those local searches, you're missing out on a huge chunk of potential customers.
Wow. Yeah, and I bet, everybody's, glued to their phones these days. So
oh, absolutely.
That's a huge number,
Yeah. And in fact, studies have shown that over 60% of smartphone users have contacted a business directly from search results. So,
wow.
That's
incredible. Yeah. So it's like you're putting your storefront, on the map, but the digital map of the community so that people can find you no matter where they are, whether they're at home on their computer or they're out and about.
Exactly.
It's just like you're right there in their hand, ready to serve them.
Yeah. And, it's not just about attracting new customers either. Local SEO is also a really powerful way to cultivate loyalty among your existing customers.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, if you're consistently showing up in local searches, providing valuable information, you become that trusted go-to resource for people in your community.
Yeah, that makes sense because if I'm like, oh, I need, a plumber or, I need this service, and the same company keeps popping up over and over again, I'm going to be like, oh, they must be good. They must be reputable.
Exactly. And it fosters that sense of connection and belonging, which I think is really essential for any business, especially in the digital age.
Yeah, I agree. And it's not just, it's not just about, algorithms and rankings at that point. It's about building those relationships and,
Yeah.
having that real connection with people.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So speaking of real connection, let's talk about Google My Business or GMB. I know this is a big one.
Oh, yes, this is huge.
When it comes to local SEO. So can you tell us a little bit about why that's so important?
Yeah, so, GMB is often the very first thing that people see when they search for your business online.
Yeah, it's like your digital storefront, right?
Exactly.
It's that first impression that either makes them want to come in or, makes them swipe to the next one.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And so, it's crucial to have a really strong GMB profile. And, one tip that I always give businesses is don't just settle for the basic information, add photos, respond to reviews, use GMB posts to share updates and promotions,
Yeah.
So it's about adding all those little touches that really, make your storefront pop and give it personality, give it a little heart. Exactly. And, just like you wouldn't neglect the upkeep of your physical storefront, you need to keep your GMB profile fresh and engaging.
Yeah.
Think of it as an ongoing conversation with your community.
Right.
Not just a static listing.
Yeah, that's a great point. You're an active participant in your community. You're not just, standing there with a blank face. You're actually engaging with people and, building those relationships.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think the other big one when we talk about websites is having a website that's mobile friendly.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Okay. I know you're going to say it's important, but just how crucial is that in today's, mobile first world?
It's make or break.
Okay.
Studies have shown that nearly 75% of users are less likely to return to a site if it's not mobile friendly. So,
wow, that's a lot.
That's a significant chunk of potential customers you could be losing.
Yeah, you're cutting out like 3/4 of your potential customers.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, so it's not just about having a website. It's about having a website that provides a seamless and enjoyable experience for mobile users. So
yeah, so it's got to be quick.
Yeah.
I know people get really impatient if a page is taking too long to load. And
exactly.
It's got to be easy to navigate, and it's got to look good on a tiny screen.
Yeah, exactly. Think about things like fast loading times, easy navigation, and a design that adapts to different screen sizes.
Yeah, so you're making that digital doorway wide open, and you're making sure that people can come in, especially those mobile users who are on the go, and just need to find information quickly.
Right.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so
we've talked about the importance of GMB and having a mobile-friendly website. But, it's not just about the technical aspects. You also need to think about the content on your website.
right, because content is king, right?
Content is king.
Yeah.
That's right. And so when it comes to local SEO, you really want to think about what your local audience is searching for.
Yep.
What questions are they asking? What information would be helpful to them?
So you're really becoming like that resource for your community, the one that people go to get answers to their questions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a blog post about, the best dog parks in town, or a guide to local holiday events, or, tips for choosing the right contractor for a home renovation project,
Yeah, become that expert that people can rely on.
Exactly. And when you create that kind of content, it naturally attracts backlinks from other local websites.
Oh, yeah.
Which further boosts your authority and visibility in search results. So it's like building this web of connections within your digital community.
It really is like a puzzle, where all these different pieces fit together to create that complete picture of you online.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fascinating.
And I know this can all feel a little overwhelming, especially for busy business owners who are already juggling a million things. So, you don't have to become an SEO guru overnight.
Right.
Start with those foundational pieces that we've been talking about. Your Google My Business profile, your mobile-friendly website, and actively encouraging customer reviews.
Okay.
Those are the cornerstones of a strong local SEO foundation.
So it's like building the house, making sure the foundation is solid before you start, adding all the fancy decorations and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then think about, creating content that truly serves your local community.
Yeah.
What are your customers asking? What information would be valuable to them?
Okay.
And become that go-to resource, that friendly expert that people can rely on.
Yeah, I love that shift, from selling to serving.
Yes.
It's really about like providing that value and building that trust and making people feel like you're a part of their community.
Absolutely. And that's what really resonates with people. It's not just about keywords and algorithms. It's
Mhm.
about authentically connecting with your audience.
Yeah, and I think that's what I've noticed too about the local businesses that do this really well, is that it really does feel like a genuine connection.
Yeah,
Like they're passionate about what they do and they're passionate about their community. They really want to, help people
absolutely.
and serve them well.
Yeah, and that passion is contagious, you know?
It is.
When customers feel that connection, they're more likely to become loyal advocates for your business.
Yeah.
They become part of your story and you become part of theirs.
I love that. So let's talk for a second about PPC ads, because I know,
Yeah.
we mentioned earlier that it's really cost effective to focus locally.
Right.
But I know a lot of businesses, especially smaller businesses, they hear PPC and they think, oh, that's
Expensive.
expensive. Yeah. It's for the big guys.
Right.
So do small businesses really need to jump into PPC right away?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
There are definitely situations where it can be a valuable part of your local SEO strategy, but it's not always essential. For example, if you're just starting out and you need a quick boost in visibility, a targeted PPC campaign can help you get in front of potential customers more rapidly.
Oh.
Or if you're in a highly competitive market, PPC can be a really valuable tool to stand out from the crowd, especially for those high-value keywords that are crucial to your business.
So it's like having an extra tool in your toolbox.
Exactly.
It's not always necessary, but it's good to have it there if you need it.
Yeah. And remember, with PPC, you're essentially paying for visibility, so it's really important to be targeted with your campaigns.
Yeah, you don't want to just throw money at it.
Exactly. You want to make sure you're reaching the right people at the right time with the right message.
Right. So again, it's that precision marketing. It's all about getting in front of the people that are actually going to, benefit from your service or product.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's great. So we know that, even with the best, SEO strategy in place, the landscape of the digital world is constantly changing.
Oh, yeah. Always changing.
So are there any other challenges or trends that small businesses should be aware of as they, continue to navigate the world of local SEO?
Yeah. One trend that's becoming increasingly important is the rise of voice search.
Oh, yeah.
People are using voice assistants like Siri and Alexa
All the time.
more and more
Yeah.
to find information and make purchases.
I use it all the time.
Yeah.
But how does that impact local SEO? I mean, do businesses need to do something different to kind of capitalize on that?
Yeah, so voice search queries tend to be more conversational and longer than traditional text searches.
Oh.
So, instead of optimizing for keywords like, best pizza,
Yeah.
you might need to optimize for phrases like, hey, Siri, where's the best pizza place near me that delivers?
So it's about really thinking how people talk,
Yeah.
and how they would phrase that in their everyday life.
Yeah, it's about thinking beyond keywords and considering the intent behind those voice searches.
Yeah, that's fascinating. And that kind of ties into another thing we were talking about earlier with, those hyperlocal searches.
Right.
And how people are looking for those really specific things that are near them.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're seeing a growing demand for hyperlocal information. People want to know not just what's nearby, but what's specifically relevant to their neighborhood or even their street.
Wow.
So...
It's like zooming in even further on that map,
Yeah.
getting down to the street level.
Yeah, so businesses need to get even more granular with their local SEO efforts.
Wow.
Targeting very specific locations and tailoring their content to those micro communities.
So it's almost like every neighborhood is its own little community online.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and it goes beyond just providing information.
Right.
It's about being part of the conversation, engaging with your community online, and building those relationships that foster trust and loyalty.
Yeah. And so as we kind of wrap up this first section of our deep dive,
Mm-hmm.
what you're saying is it's really about creating that sense of belonging,
Yeah.
both online and offline.
Yeah.
And really, being present in your community and providing that value and being that resource for people. And
Absolutely.
yeah, and I think that's what really sets apart the successful local businesses from the ones that maybe aren't quite as successful.
Yeah. And, when you do that, when you create that sense of belonging, both online and offline, everything else falls into place.
That's great. This has been a great conversation so far. I feel like
Yeah.
I've learned a lot already about local SEO and all the nuances.
Yeah.
And we're just getting started.
Just getting started. This is just the tip of the iceberg.
So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be diving even deeper into the world of local SEO for small businesses.
Can't wait.
So stay with us. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Hope you're doing well. So, we were just talking about how important it is for small businesses to have a really strong online presence. Right. Especially when it comes to that local SEO.
Yeah.
Um, but, I'm thinking about, all the business owners out there listening, and I'm wondering, is it really essential for every small business to have like a full-blown website these days?
That's a great question. And, it's something that I get asked a lot. And honestly, the answer is it depends.
Okay.
It really depends on the type of business you have, your target audience, and your overall marketing goals.
So there are some businesses where maybe a website isn't quite as essential as it used to be.
Yeah, for example, if you're a very small local business, like a food truck or a farmer's market vendor,
Right.
you might be able to get away with just having a strong social media presence.
Okay, that makes sense.
And a really well-optimized Google My Business profile.
Yeah, so you're still meeting those customers where they're at,
Exactly.
They're on social media, they're searching on Google Maps, and you can still, provide them with that information and build that relationship even without having, a big fancy website.
Exactly. But, on the other hand, if you're a business that relies heavily on online sales or lead generation, then having a website is absolutely crucial.
Right.
It's your online storefront. It's
Okay.
where you showcase your products or services. It's where you build credibility and establish your brand.
Yeah, it's that hub for all of your information and all of your content and, a way for people to really get to know you.
Yeah. And, I think one thing that's really important to keep in mind is that even if you don't have a website, you still need to have a strong online presence.
Right.
You need to make sure that your business is listed on all the relevant online directories,
Yeah.
that your contact information is up to date,
Yeah.
and that you're actively engaging with your audience on social media.
So it's about meeting those customers where they're at and making sure that, you're visible and accessible no matter where they're searching. That's great. Now let's talk about online reviews because I know this is a big one
Yes.
for local businesses. How important are those online reviews and what are some of the things that businesses can do to encourage more of those positive reviews?
Yeah, so online reviews are gold for local businesses.
They are.
I mean, they can make or break you.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the star rating, it's about the content of those reviews.
Right.
Potential customers are reading those reviews to get a sense of what it's like to do business with you.
Yeah, it's like word of mouth, but amplified.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's like thousands of people telling their friends about you.
Right. And, one of the best things you can do to encourage more positive reviews is simply to ask.
Okay.
Don't be shy about asking your happy customers to share their experiences online.
It seems so simple,
Yeah.
but I bet a lot of people don't even think to do that.
You'd be surprised how many businesses don't do it. But, you can also make it even easier for them by including links to your review profiles on your website.
Okay.
In your email signatures, even on social media. Make leaving a review a seamless process.
So it's like removing all those barriers
Exactly.
and just making it really easy for them to share their love.
I like that, removing the barriers. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that businesses sometimes forget is to respond to those reviews.
Oh, yes, so important.
It's not just about getting the reviews, it's about engaging with those customers
Absolutely.
who took the time to leave a review.
Respond to both the good and the bad reviews.
Even the bad ones.
Especially the bad ones.
Okay.
It shows that you're listening, you care about what your customers have to say.
It's about closing the loop and, showing them that you value their feedback, even if it's not, all sunshine and roses.
Exactly. And, those negative reviews can actually be really valuable learning opportunities.
Okay.
They can help you identify areas where you can improve your business. And they can also show potential customers that you're responsive and you're committed to providing a positive experience.
So it's about that transparency and authenticity.
Exactly.
Really showing people that you're human and you're willing to learn and grow.
Yeah, and when you combine that authenticity with a smart local SEO strategy, you're setting yourself up for long-term success.
That's great. So speaking of long-term success, what are some of the keys to building a sustainable local SEO strategy?
Yeah, so I think one of the most important things is to stay informed and adapt.
Okay.
The digital landscape is constantly evolving, so you need to be willing to learn, experiment, and adjust your approach as needed.
So you're saying you can't just set it and forget it?
No, you can't. What worked yesterday might not work tomorrow, so you got to stay curious and be open to new ideas.
It's like being a lifelong learner.
Exactly.
Always seeking out that new information and staying ahead of the curve.
Yeah, and, don't be afraid to get creative.
Okay.
Think outside the box when it comes to content creation, community engagement, even your online interactions,
Yeah. Find what works best for you and your business and your community.
Exactly. And, at the end of the day, local SEO is really about connecting with your community.
Yes.
It's about building relationships, providing value, and becoming a truly indispensable part of your local ecosystem.
And I think, as we're talking about this, I'm realizing that it's not just about getting more customers. It's about creating that ripple effect of positive impact.
Absolutely.
It's about making your community a better place and, contributing to the overall well-being of the people around you.
I love the ripple effect of positive impact.
Yeah, it's really inspiring to think about, the power that small businesses have to make a difference.
Yeah.
And I think local SEO is a big part of that.
Absolutely.
Welcome back, everybody. So we've been talking about all these different aspects of local SEO, and how important it is for small businesses to really, have that strong online presence and build those relationships with their community.
Yeah. And one of the things that really struck me as we were prepping for this deep dive is how much local SEO has evolved.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just about showing up in search results anymore. It's about crafting an online experience that really reflects what your business is all about.
I love that, reflecting the soul of your business,
Exactly.
even in that digital realm.
Yeah.
And speaking of connection, I know one thing that keeps popping up in our research is the power of online reviews.
Yes.
I know we touched on this a little bit earlier.
Right.
But I'm curious to dive a little deeper. What are some of the most effective strategies for encouraging those positive reviews that can really make a difference?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Reviews are gold.
They are.
For local businesses. And, it can be as simple as just asking, don't be shy about encouraging your happy customers to share their experiences online.
Sometimes the simplest solutions are the best, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, you can also make it even easier for them by including links to your review profiles on your website.
Right.
In your email signatures, even on social media.
Because it's like rolling out the red carpet for them.
Exactly.
To leave a review.
Yeah, make it a seamless process.
Yeah, make it easy.
Exactly. And don't forget to respond to those reviews.
Okay.
Both the good and the bad.
Even the bad ones.
Especially the bad ones.
Okay.
It shows that you're listening and you care about what your customers have to say.
So you're closing the loop.
Yeah.
You're showing that you value their feedback, even if it's not always, positive.
Exactly. And remember, those negative reviews can actually be valuable learning opportunities.
Okay. How so?
They can help you identify areas where you can improve and show potential customers that you're responsive and committed to providing the best possible experience.
So it's all about that transparency and that authenticity we were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you combine that authenticity with a smart local SEO strategy, you're setting yourself up for long-term success.
Absolutely.
That's great. And, speaking of long-term success, I know a lot of our listeners are probably thinking, okay, this is all great information.
Right.
But how do I actually make this happen? How do I build a sustainable local SEO strategy that's going to continue to deliver results over time?
Right. Yeah, that's the key, isn't it? Sustainability.
Exactly.
You don't want to just have a flash in the pan. You want to build something that's going to last.
Right.
And I think one of the most important things is to stay informed and adapt.
Okay.
The digital landscape is constantly evolving.
Always changing.
Always changing. So you need to be willing to learn, experiment, and adjust your approach as needed.
So you can't just set it and forget it.
No, you can't. What worked yesterday might not work tomorrow. So you got to stay curious and be open to new ideas.
So it's like being a lifelong learner in a way.
Exactly.
Always seeking out that new knowledge and those new insights to stay ahead of the curve.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to get creative.
Okay.
Think outside the box when it comes to content creation, community engagement, even your online interactions,
Yeah. Find what works best for you in your business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think ultimately local SEO is really about building relationships.
Yes, it is.
It's about providing value and becoming a truly indispensable part of your community.
I love that this deep dive has been so eye-opening.
Me too.
We've uncovered so many valuable insights about local SEO, and I feel like it's not just about marketing anymore.
Right.
It's about so much more than that. It's about connecting with people.
Yeah.
And building a stronger community, and I think that's something that we can all get behind.
Absolutely.
So for all of you listening out there, I want to leave you with one final thought as you continue your journey in the world of local SEO. Remember that it's not just about algorithms and rankings.
Right.
It's about building genuine connections with the people around you.
Exactly.
So get out there, be authentic, be helpful, and watch as your business thrives right alongside your community.
That's great advice.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive. I want to
Mhm.
thank you for joining us, and a special thanks to our expert for sharing their incredible insights.
It's been a pleasure.
And all of you listening out there, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep into the world around you. We'll see you next time.